You think you know the Smoky Mountains? Think again. Sure, it's the most visited national park in the entire country, but of the 12 million people who swarm it every year, 99% of them are seeing the exact same thing. They stick to the script. Forget the postcard views and the traffic jams. For generations, locals have been whispering about what's lurking just beyond the trail markers. Forgotten ghost towns, fairy tale structures, and history so dark they don't make it into the brochures. Today, we're going off map. We're tearing up the tourist guide to uncover 7 secrets of the Smokies you were never meant to find. So buckle up, because things are about to get weird. 1. The Elkmont Ghost Town. First up, we're heading to a place that's hiding in plain sight. The Elkmont Ghost Town. Before it was a park, Elkmont was a booming logging town that morphed into a ritzy mountain getaway for Knoxville's high society. Think of it as the Hamptons, but with more bears and way better scenery. When the government decided to create the national park here in the 1930s, residents were given a brutal choice. Sell your home and get out now, or sell on the cheap for a lifetime lease. As the decades passed, those leases ran out, and one by one, the houses were left to rot. Walking through here today is surreal. The Park Service has restored some of the main buildings, but the real magic is in the ruins being swallowed by the forest. Skeletal cabins, lonely stone chimneys. It feels like you've stumbled onto a post-apocalyptic movie set where the only residents are ghosts and fireflies. Locals avoid Elkmont after dark, not because of animals, but because visitors have reported doors opening on windless nights, footsteps echoing through empty rooms, and lights flickering where there's no electricity. And once a year, the forest puts on a show that feels deliberate. Thousands of fireflies blinking in perfect synchronization, lighting the ghost town like a living heartbeat. Fun fact, the wealthy vacationers section of Elkmont was called Daisy Town, a whimsical name for what would eventually become one of the most famous ghost towns in Appalachia. Now, a massive ghost town is a pretty big secret to hide, but if you know exactly where to look just steps away, you'll find something even stranger. 2. The Troll Bridge. Alright, so just a few hundred feet from the main trail at Elkmont, there's a tiny unmarked path. Follow it. I promise you won't get too lost. What you'll find is something locals have nicknamed the Troll Bridge. Now, don't expect the Golden Gate Bridge here. It's a small, moss-covered stone arch over a trickling creek that looks like it was ripped straight from a storybook. No one's totally sure who built this specific bridge or why, but its fairy tale vibe has sparked legends of a troll guarding the crossing. The bridge was likely part of the original Elkmont community's network of paths and gardens, a small piece of infrastructure that outlasted almost everything around it. It's a quiet, magical spot that proves even inside a big historical site, there are smaller, weirder mysteries to find. And speaking of magical, 3. The House of the Fairies. From trolls, we move to fairies. For our next secret, we're hiking the Twin Creeks Trail to find what's left of a 38-acre mountain estate built by a guy named Louis E. Voorhuis. Between 1928 and 1944, Voorhuis, who was basically obsessed with harnessing water power, built this incredible retreat with gardens and even a water-powered mill. Most of it has vanished back into nature, but one enchanting piece remains. A stone spring house locals call the House of the Fairies. It's this gorgeous, mossy stone dome built directly into the hillside. It looks less man-made and more like something that sprouted from the ground. It's a perfect little hideaway that feels ancient and wild, believed to be home to the little people. Protective spirits said to follow anyone who disturbs their space. Stories warn that those who disrespect the site experience misfortune until they leave the mountains entirely. Some hikers say, electronics glitch here. Others claim the forest goes silent the moment you step inside. No birds, no insects, just your breathing, and the uncomfortable feeling that you've overstayed your welcome. A spring house like this was essentially a pre-industrial refrigerator, using the constant cool temperature of natural spring water to keep food from spoiling. But not all of the Smokies' secrets are this charming. Some are just rusty monuments to when human ambition met a brick wall, or, in this case, a very steep creek bed. 4. The Injun Creek Steam Engine. Deep in the Greenbrier area, you'll find a secret that's less fairy tale and more industrial strength failure. It's the rusted out carcass of a massive steam engine, just sitting in the middle of the woods. This absolute beast of a machine was used for logging in the early 1900s. The story goes that while crews were trying to move it, the tractor rolled down a steep hill and crashed into the creek. and there it has sat, rusting away for nearly 100 years. Fun fact, for decades, the stream was officially named Injun Creek after a mapmaker misspelled the word engine. They finally corrected the name to Injun Creek in just 2020. Took them long enough. Getting to it is a serious hike, but seeing this ghost of the industrial age being slowly devoured by the forest is a powerful and frankly eerie sight. Alright, we're 4 secrets in and the weird is only getting weirder. If you're into digging up the stories that don't make it into the guidebooks, do the thing. Hit subscribe. We've got way more secrets to uncover together. Now, let's get back to it. 5. Spruce Flats Falls. Okay, enough rusty metal. Let's talk about a secret that's a little more refreshing. The Smokies are crawling with waterfalls, but our 5th secret is one you won't find on any official park map, Spruce Flats Falls. Why is it a secret? Because the trail to get there is just rugged enough to scare off the tourists in flip-flops. It's a steep, rocky 1.9-mile round-trip hike that starts behind the Great Smoky Mountains Institute at Tremont. The trail's difficulty is your reward. You get a stunning, multi-tiered waterfall without the crowds. Because the trail isn't officially maintained by the National Park Service for visitor use, it retains a wilder, more primitive feel than more popular waterfall hikes. The prize is a breathtaking 40-foot cascade tumbling into a perfect swimming hole. It's a secluded piece of paradise that feels like a reward for those willing to work for it. 6. Mouse Creek Falls. A secret waterfall is great, but what about a secret waterfall that comes with a legitimate sense of peril? Yeah, let's go there. Our next stop is Big Creek, a quieter part of the park known for 2 things: its rugged beauty and its huge black bear population. About 2 miles down the Big Creek Trail, you'll find the 45-foot Mouse Creek Falls. The trail is an easy walk along an old railroad grade, past a popular swimming hole called Midnight Hole. Just past it, there's a small hitching post that marks the spot. The waterfall itself is partially hidden, plunging down a rock face before slamming into Big Creek. There's a bench here, offering a peaceful spot to sit and remember that you are very much a guest in a bear's dining room. Fun fact, the waterfall's name comes from Mouse Creek, which itself was named after a prolific land surveyor from the early 20th century, not because of rodents. 7. The Road to Nowhere. We've seen ghosts, trolls, and industrial failures, but our last secret might be the biggest and the saddest of them all. It's a monument to a promise the government broke, and it literally leads to nowhere. Near Bryson City, there's a scenic highway called Lakeview Drive. The only problem, there's no Lakeview. In the 1940s, the government built Fontana Dam, flooding dozens of communities and the main highway. They promised the displaced citizens they'd build a new 30-mile road to give them access to their ancestral cemeteries. Now stranded on the other side of the lake, they started building. 6 miles in, they just stopped. Budget problems, environmental issues, the excuses piled up, and the road was dead. It ends abruptly at the mouth of a long, dark, and graffiti-covered tunnel. The official name of the road is Lakeview Drive, a brutally ironic name for a road that never reached the lake and instead became a symbol of a broken promise. Walking through that empty tunnel is heavy. It's more than an unfinished highway, it's a scar on the landscape, a haunting memorial to families who were cut off from their history. So there you have it. Ghost towns, fairy houses, and a highway to nowhere. These places prove that the Smokies aren't just misty mountains, they're a landscape packed with stories of ambition, heartbreak, and nature always winning in the end. If this video changed how you see the Great Smoky Mountains, hit like, subscribe for more hidden places, and comment on which spot you'd visit first. If this video made you laugh, dream, or scream road trip, you will love the next video. Click here. The next wonder, it's 1 click away.